Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Lords of the Night. With me, as always, your Lord of Punishment. Say hello, Scribe.
Ah!
Your Lord of Pennies is here as well. Say hi, Satsu.
Hi, Satsu.
And I am your Lord of Pain, the Ranting Monkey, and we're here to entertain you for the next 2 hours. How you guys doing tonight? How you doing, Satsu?
I'm good.
You know, I was good on that night. I almost said puppies again because he threw me off with this. Ah!
That was the point.
I'm like, fuck. Damn you, Scribe. So, how you doing tonight, Scribe?
I'm fine. Nothing. It was a very boring day, which is fine by me.
Random says, well, you're off to a terrible start. Dude, come on, man. Show me some love. That was a good one. I like to randomize it just for you, Random.
Oh, I got to update one thing, though. Saturday is apparently a day trip, so I may, and I want to underscore may, be back in time for the show Saturday, but it's completely cool to bring in a guest and or backup on the off chance because this is my family and, you know, things could go out of schedule. So, but that's my little update.
Speaking of backup, me and Satsu were both over on Ghost Poo today because Sinatra's in the hospital. Get well, you silly bitch.
What happened to him now? I didn't hear. I saw that he got in the hospital again, but I didn't hear what happened, or as he said.
I haven't heard. I just know he was having some testing and stuff done, and he's in the hospital. Get well, you silly bitch. No, seriously, I hope you're recovering from whatever the fuck put you in there. You guys didn't have much on how you're doing today, so now I feel like I have to just fill time.
Tell us about Pumpkin. I want a pumpkin story.
Oh. She offended her parents tonight.
Uh-oh.
So it's almost bath time and dinner's all done and we're all kind of standing there in a little semicircle and I'm holding her. And no, her dad was holding her. And I clapped my hands together. Come here, sweetie. And she dove for me. And then the three of them all held out their hands to see who she'd go to. And she dove for Grandma.
Oh.
And I stepped back to see who she would go to between Mom and Dad. And instead of looking at them, she turned over Grandma's shoulder and reached for me.
Oh.
Like, that's my girl. You don't get in trouble with your parents, but yeah, that's my girl.
Oh.
She's such a sweetheart. There you go. There's your pumpkin story.
Yay, pumpkin story.
Yeah. Like, look, guys, she sees you guys all the time. She doesn't get to see Grandpa very much because I'm down here in my cripple basement. It's what it is. I mean, this is the cripple basement. I had a decent day. I spent most of the day in bed. Like I was telling Scribe, though, I keep forgetting when I'm laying in bed like that all day to get up and take medicine. Mm-hmm. So by the time I actually get out of bed, my body's like, you haven't had medicine in 12 hours. Like, oops.
Should we get you like a one of those IV drip things on wheels to follow you around?
That would probably be a smarter idea.
Yeah, because that's the only kind of ideas I have, you know.
It's not been my experience, but I'll take your word for it. The no gaming stream tonight, guys. So this is it. This is what you get from us. So you better enjoy it. Speaking of that, Monkey Dick, Jim Jones, video games. No, movies first. Let me try that again. Monkey Dick, Jim Jones, movies, video games. Hit the like button, guys. That helps us out while we're live. It's great afterwards too, but it really helps in the immediate algorithm. And share our stuff. I just do streams most of the time, but these gentlemen actually make stuff. And Satsu has a video people have been wanting to see. Make sure you go to it's Fam 2 cents, right?
It was on 2 cents plus for now, but it'll be transferred over to Fam 2 cents afterwards.
So I'm not going to tell you what it is. He'll talk about it at YouTube time. We like to keep you in suspense because that's what good shows do. Like the news used to do. Like, is your toothpaste killing you? We'll tell you at the very end of the show.
Is breathing going to cause you to become pregnant? The answer may surprise you.
Old Grouchy Gamer says it's my wife's birthday. Well, what's her name? Because I can't just sing happy birthday to your wife. I mean, I can, but I prefer to do it a little more personally.
Is it Old Grouchy Fake Girl Gamer?
What's your wife's name, man? We haven't got to do a song in a couple of days. And I feel the need for song. What?
I was singing part of the Golden Girls theme before the stream started.
Yeah, you were. I wasn't.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I said I feel the need to sing.
Patty. Her name is Patty.
Patty.
Peppermint Patty. No, just Patty.
Patty, are you out there? Are you listening? I'm not going to ask you how tall you are because your husband's right there. But he did request. Well, he didn't request. He didn't even request we should sing this. Should we do it? I feel like I jumped the gun there. I was a little presumptuous. Fuck it. I'm going to do it anyway.
Okay.
Patty, this one's for you. And a 1. And a 2. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
Scribe's gone full retard.
Happy birthday, dear Patty.
You better unmute right now, people.
Happy birthday to you. Patty, I hope you had a great birthday. I really do. So with that, I mean, I don't think we have much to cover other than Scribbles. What went on in the news today?
Well, how about analysis from our favorite friend at CNN, Chris Cillizza?
Yay!
Can you imagine what he's analysising right now?
I'm guessing the bar testimony.
You would be correct. All right, so Chris Cillizza has for us 9 key takeaways from William Barr's testimony on the Mueller report.
Yeah, oh, God.
9 of them. All right, so each of these has...
Time out.
Oh,
Chris, if you're out there listening.
He's not.
We've read... Shh, just let it happen. We've read your writing before. Keep it to 5 points or less, because 9 is a lot from you.
All right, I'm going to read. So these go on for quite a bit. So I'm going to read the point he gives, and I will read about the first paragraph or so. And if we wish to be more, if we find ourselves more curious about what Chris has to say, we can delve deeper. All right. The point number 1. Lindsey Graham shows his pro-Trump colors. In the last 2 years, haven't kind of shown that. Graham, the chairman of the Judiciary Committee, has stood out over the first 2+ years of Donald Trump's time in the White House for his drastic about-face on the president. The South Carolina senator went from calling Trump a kook who was unfit for office during the 2016 GOP primary to being one of the president's biggest advocates and allies in Congress. Chris, you should have put a comma there. Just saying.
That's not uncommon during presidential elections and stuff.
It really isn't because, Graham kept up his pro-Trump work during his opening statement on Wednesday. He incorrectly said that Mueller asked Barr to make a conclusion about whether or not Trump had obstructed justice in his actions related to the special counsel probe. Mueller did not do that at all, simply not making a recommendation of his own about Trump and obstruction, noting that the Office of Legal Counsel made clear a sitting president could not be charged. Okay. Then Graham turned to a favorite subject of the president, the text messages bad-mouthing Trump between then FBI official Peter Strzok and Lisa Page during the 2016 election. Graham promised an investigation into those text messages as well as into the origins of the FBI's counterintelligence probe. Okay.
Okay.
That's a takeaway. All right, if you say so. Number 2, Barr tries to re-explain what he was doing with 4-page letter. Maybe with the 4-page letter?
Probably.
Now that we know what Mueller took issue with... Now that we know that Mueller took issue with the way that Barr described the report in his summary letter on March 24th, the AG sought to reclassify what he meant to do with the letter. He compared it to offering a verdict in a trial with the transcript of the proceedings, the Mueller report, to come out later. Barr said that public interest was such and the stakes were so high that he felt the need to offer the summary or verdict immediately after receiving the report. To hear Barr tell it then, what happened with his letter was a big misunderstanding. It was never meant to fully categorize the nature of Mueller's investigations, according to Barr. That misunderstanding is why Mueller wasn't thrilled with Barr's letter. That's if that's what Barr said. I didn't watch the testimony. I didn't have any time today because it was a boring day at work, but it was still a busy day at work. If that's how Barr framed it, that sounds like bullshit.
Well, I haven't seen that part of it. I've only seen certain. Like I went and I watched Kamala Harris's questioning of him. I watched Ted Cruz. I watched a couple other. I forget the guy's name. The Stolen Valor guy. His was funny. I don't think Barr ever gave the impression that the 4-page report was indicative of the entire 400 page.
Well, it was called a 4-page summary. So I don't know. I mean, I'd have to listen to the testimony, but I'm extending a great benefit of the doubt here. If Chris Cillizza has condensed that correctly, that sounds like double talk to me. But then lawyers, so I don't know. Number 3, Barr blames the media for Mueller's reaction to his letter. Okay. Asked what specifically Mueller took issue with in his 4-page summary letter, Barr said that the special counsel was unhappy with the description of obstruction as it relates to the president. Quote, the press was reading too much into it, Barr said of what he took from the phone conversation with Mueller on March 28th. But that's not at all what Mueller said in the March 27th letter to Barr, which was released Wednesday morning. There's no mention of the media in that letter. In fact, Mueller seems to directly criticize Barr's handling of the letter. Mueller wrote, quote, the summary letter the department sent to Congress and released to the public late in the afternoon of March 24th did not fully capture the context, nature, and substance of this office's work and conclusions, Mueller wrote. There is now public confusion about critical aspects of the results of our investigation, unquote. Okay.
Okay.
Number 4, the difference between firing and removal for conflict. Okay. Barr tried to thread a very narrow needle in explaining why President Trump telling then White House counsel Don McGahn to get rid of Mueller was not obstruction of justice. Barr claimed that Trump never told McGahn to fire Mueller, but rather to remove him from his position due to alleged conflicts of interest. The difference, according to Barr, firing Mueller would eliminate the special counsel, while removing Mueller for cause would ensure a new individual would be named to carry on the special counsel investigation. Therefore, no obstruction. That's slicing the onion very, very thinly.
Real quick, Diesel Dave, thank you. If you're in pain, make sure you're not taking the PM. No, that's this is the same thing with the Comey firing. That was obstruction. No, it wasn't, because that didn't stop anything. And firing Mueller, even if they did say fire Mueller, wouldn't have stopped the investigation. And I'm not trying to defend Trump, but in that case, it was for conflict of interest. Whether that was true or not, I don't know the extent.
Yeah.
But
fire or remove, 6 of one thing, half a dozen of the other. It would just necessitate that someone else take his place. That's all.
Yeah. And you can make the argument maybe he was trying to get somebody more sympathetic in there, but removing somebody for conflict of interest happens, and it's not a obstruction of justice. So that one, sorry, that's a really thin one, Chris.
Number 5, Barr has questions about the origins of the FBI counterintelligence probe. Okay. If you blinked, you might have missed this exchange between Graham and Barr. Graham, do you share my concerns about the counterintelligence probe and how it was started? Barr, yes. Okay. And Chris says, big deal. Like big deal as in a shrug, or big deal as in I don't know. Barr's agreement with Graham means that the Attorney General is now at odds with both the FBI and the Mueller report, which made clear that the counterintelligence probe began after the Australians approached the U. Out of a one-word answer, Chris, you can extrapolate all that.
Diesel Dave, thank you. Unintended 6-hour nap today. Hey, these things happen. As long as you weren't driving at the time.
Real quick, Barr's statement on Wednesday puts him, or at least potentially puts him, much more in line with Trump, who has repeatedly claimed that the counterintelligence investigation was based on an opposition research document put together by former British spy Christopher Steele. Steele's work was paid for at times by the DNC and the Clinton campaign. Chris has put that information in parentheses. At times? Okay.
At times. You mean from beginning to end? I guess that is technically at times. Yeah, the Mueller report, didn't they say that I don't know if they ever named who it was, but it was somebody came to them about Papadopoulos, some foreign agent. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, we'll see what happens there.
All right, this is taking a lot longer than I thought it would. I'll just run over the next couple. Barr won't be apologizing for saying spying. I don't think he should.
Because it was spying.
It was by the definition. And then Chris wants us to read a bunch of quotes from the testimony and follow along with his logic, which is going to take forever.
Sure.
Number 8, Barr made clear he did not exonerate Trump on obstruction. Okay. All right. And then number 9, Barr equivocates on White House influence. California Senator Kamala Harris asked Barr a simple question. Did anyone in the White House ask or suggest that he open an investigation into a person or people? Just in general?
Yeah, I actually watched that exchange. And CNN actually, this is their video, and they say Kamala Harris stumps Bob Barr or William Barr or something like that. The way the headline on their video is just like, wow, that's not biased at all. But I watched that whole exchange, and yeah, she's like, did the White House or anybody in there tell you or suggest to you to prosecute anyone? He's like, I don't.
That's a very broad fucking question.
No, not according to her. It's a yes or no answer.
Yeah, Barr was taken aback, asking Harris to repeat the question. He then said he wasn't entirely sure what she meant by the word suggest.
Yep.
All of that potentially suggests, oh, thanks, Chris, that someone in the White House has either asked or suggested that Barr and the DOJ look into a matter.
Or it means he is not sure exactly what the fuck she means by suggest, and he doesn't want to get in trouble for lying to Congress.
Yeah, because, like, did someone implicitly, like, what the fuck does it suggest? You mean suggest as in just sort of offhand, or like an implicit? He's a lawyer. You have to be specific. Weren't you a lawyer, Kamala?
Yeah, that whole exchange was just, wow.
That's just odd. Like, that's a gotcha. That's not a gotcha of anything. And besides which, the president could ask the DOJ to look into something or someone. I don't think that's illegal, so far as I know. If you don't get more specific, is it like as relates to the Mueller investigation, or like? No,
she didn't even narrow it down that way. Just ever. Now, the only thing, my favorite thing of all of this, because not only was there the Mueller letter that came out, but it's also come out that Mueller and Barr had a phone conversation.
Right.
And Blumenthal, that's Stolen Valor guy, he asked Barr, did anybody record or make record of the conversation? And Barr's like, there were notes taken. And Blumenthal goes, can we have those? He goes, no. And he goes, why not? And he goes, why do you need them? I'm like, oh my God. Oh, it was funny to watch. If they want those, they'll get them. They'll just subpoena them. But yeah, that exchange just made me laugh because Blumenthal didn't know how to react to it. He's like, oh.
Well, let's see. Moving on to other news. A name that I have not heard said. This is kind of an Obi-Wan moment. I was like, that's a name I've not heard in a very, very long time. So, Monkey, what do you think of when I say the name Rick Schroeder?
Oh, that's little Ricky Schroeder from Silver Spoons and The Champ, and he was on NYPD for a while.
Yeah. Rick Schroeder arrested for domestic violence for the second time in 30 days.
What?
I know,
Look,
right?
Ricky Schroeder's beating women.
And you know, honestly, the picture that they have of him here, he looks, and I know this is going to sound bad, but he looks like the Amazing Atheist a little bit.
Okay,
The actor, best known for his TV roles on Silver Spoons and NYPD Blue, is currently in custody after being arrested for domestic violence, according to a statement obtained by CNN. Schroeder, 49, was in a physical altercation with an adult woman at his residence in Topanga. She declined medical treatment, officials said in their statement. A similar incident involving the same victim took place on April 2nd at Schroeder's house, according to Los Angeles County Sheriff. It is not yet clear what charges Schroeder could face. Schroeder made his film debut as Jon Voight's son in the film The Champ in 1979 and won a Golden Globe for his performance in the movie. He went on to star in the popular 80s television sitcom Silver Spoons. More recent work includes a cameo in Get Him to the Greek in 2010 and the TV movie Dolly Parton's Christmas of Many Colors, Circle of Love in 2016. Schroeder and his former wife, Andrea, filed for divorce in 2016. Just weeks after their 24th wedding anniversary, they have 4 children together.
Thank you, Connor Johnson. Even if you're not into this series, did you know that SpongeBob SquarePants turned 20 today? I did not.
Did not know. Never really watched the show because I was a Ren and Stimpy kid and a Rocko's Modern Life kid.
Rick, stop beating women, man. That's not cool.
Yeah, not unless they like it.
Man, I just can't imagine Rick Schroeder beating a woman.
I know, because it's like little Ricky Schroeder. He was always like the clean cut, like sort of like angelic kid, the nice guy.
Yeah,
now, now he looks like a basement dwelling troll.
Yeah, he does not look good.
No, he doesn't.
Lay off the alcohol.
Of course, you know, it was for the longest time I thought, wow, Ricky Schroeder really dodged that whole child star curse. Maybe not. Maybe it just took a long time to get there. Brown Coat Boy says, wait, her name was Topanga? Was it a crossover? No, he lives in Topanga. It's not Boy Meets World. That would be funny, though.
Evil One says, ranting monkey, innocent till proven guilty. Yes, yeah. Hashtag innocent till proven guilty.
I know. I wasn't saying nothing. I was reading the story. He may or may not have done something.
I'm making jokes about him beating women. Calm down.
Yeah, okay. Let's see. Speaking of nice guys that maybe aren't, I don't know. 2 Swarthmore fraternities will disband after documents reveal references to rape addict and racist behavior.
Oh, wow.
2 Swarthmore College fraternity chapters say they are closing their doors in response to allegations of racist, misogynistic, and homophobic behavior against past members that emerged in recent weeks. At fraternities? The accounts were included in documents from 2013 to 2016 that were leaked to 2 campus publications earlier this month. One of the document dumps, the 117-page Phi Psi Historical Archive, included rape jokes, racist tropes, and crude descriptions of hazing among the pages of fraternity meeting minutes and scavenger hunt lists.
Huh. Real quick, Tara Sin, thank you so much. I sent you Florida Man Story Check Twitter. I saw it in the DM. Make sure if you're sending us stories, guys, send those to hashtag MSS News.
Yep.
Sorry, I will forget that you DM that to me. I'm sorry. It's nothing personal. It's just my brain.
Yeah, it's also the case that I'm not looking at on my Twitter app for the show. At least I usually have it open to things that don't show me my DMs. So,
gotcha.
MSS News is the best way to do it. The archive also included a reference to another fraternity's quote-unquote rape attic and quote-unquote rape tunnel. But that fraternity, Delta Upsilon, denied that such things ever existed and called the terms, quote, a sorry attempt at humor by a member of another Swarthmore Greek organization. Quote, we are not aware of any member of Delta Upsilon using those terms in any context. We have no rape tunnel or rape addict, and we find the continued usage of these terms inflammatory and offensive, the group said in a statement. Sounds like jokes that have decided to be taken literally, and yeah.
Satsu, you okay over there?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
Satsu doesn't like us tonight.
I
Actually,
don't know what to add to Rape Addict.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah,
It's an interesting story, but it's another one of those where it's like I don't even know what to say to that.
yeah. I mean, it reminds me of like so many other things. It's like, look, we found this thing that's like 20 years old, and now everybody has to be punished for it or something.
Yes.
Or some people made a joke on a thing from a long time ago, and therefore everybody is a rape apologist.
Yeah. They better
Rape
never watch
jokes.
Monkey in the Morning.
Jokes. They say rape jokes, and like, okay, and anyway, I don't know. And the last story I've got: someone burned beehives in Texas and killed more than 500,000 bees.
Douche.
Police want to know who burned dozens of beehives in a town just south of Houston. One of the beekeepers said the losses are truly staggering. Quote, "We're looking at 500,000 to 600,000 bees that have been destroyed out of that environment," says Steve Brackman, who sells beekeeping supplies and queen bees. The carnage was discovered early Saturday morning by a Brazoria County Sheriff's deputy who noticed several bee boxes on fire in Alvin, Texas. Some of the boxes had been tossed into a nearby pond. The Brazoria County Beekeepers Association owned the 24 colonies of bees that were on the site. Quote, "It's bad enough to think in today's world this would happen, but dumping them over and then setting fire to them is beyond comprehension." Okay, the association wrote on a Facebook post. "The club has offered a reward to lead to conviction, and anyone with info, please forward it to the sheriff's office." Brazoria County Crime Stoppers is offering a reward of up to $5,000. The Beekeepers Association is offering a $1,000 reward, as well as asking for donations to help it recover from the losses. Brackman points out that the loss of the bees has serious consequences for the environment. Populations of bees are declining because of the use of insecticides, he told the news, leaving fewer bees to pollinate certain crops. Quote, "Tomatoes, squash, watermelons, bees pollinate those," he said. "So if bees don't pollinate those, you get zero vegetables. We would see next to nothing in the vegetable stores." Yeah, it's kind of a pointless fucking thing to do.
Yeah, I don't like bees, but I leave them alone because they help us eat, y'all.
Yes.
Leave them alone.
And
that's just, I mean, that's a dick thing to do. There's really no reason.
Let me make sure I haven't missed anything else really out of the ordinary. I couldn't care less about Game of Thrones theories, so I think that's all the stories I've got.
Righty. That brings us on to Satsu. Do you have anything to say about bees?
I was just watching a video on YouTube of beekeepers, and this dude was talking about somebody who got stung, I think 3,000 times.
Jesus.
And lived. But that's all I have to say about that story.
All right. Yeah, guys, that brings us on to hashtag MSS News. If there's a story you'd like to take us, MSS News over on the Twitter machine. There's a story you want us to take a look at, hit us up at the hashtag MSS News over on the Twitter machine. We can't get to all of them. That's just because I can't fucking speak. Scribbles.
This one comes from Tara Sin. Tara Sin sent us a story. Man resists arrest by singing karaoke.
What?
A Gainesville man decided to sing karaoke when Alachua County deputies tried to arrest him. According to an arrest report, the Alachua County Sheriff's Office, I think, or something, deputies were searching for Darian Glass, 29, who had an active warrant for battery. When they arrived, a woman said she did not know if Glass was at home, but he came out of his room with a microphone in hand. When Glass was informed why ASO was there, he started to sing karaoke. Deputies ordered him multiple times to surrender, but he continued to sing karaoke. Glass was arrested on a warrant for battery and is also charged with resisting arrest. He was taken to the Alachua County Jail. What was he singing, though? I mean, seriously, that's the most important part. What song was he singing? Was it like I fought the law, but the law won?
I will survive.
I Will Survive. That's a good one.
He was like, "Fuck the police."
There you go. This one comes from Check Your Logic without a teaser, so I don't know what it is. Nickelodeon releases official SpongeBob meme figures.
Okay.
It's a video. It's not an article, but yeah, if you know of a SpongeBob meme out there, they've made an action figure for it. So like SpongeBob holding the rainbow, SpongeBob doing his chicken pose or whatever. Yeah, so there you go. If you ever wanted a SpongeBob meme figure, they've embraced the memes. This one comes from senior staff reporter and chief Florida correspondent Colleen Bernier. Man claims sexual role-playing led to live-streamed shootout with Orange County deputies. I am an artist, not a criminal, he said. Like I said before, there are times where I like, did I really read that chain of words together? That's the first time that's probably ever been written in the entirety of human history. The man who live streamed a shootout with Orange County deputies on Instagram told a judge that sexual role-playing led to the incident that ended with a barrage of gunfire at a Windermere area apartment complex, calling himself an artist, not a criminal. In a 4-page handwritten letter dated April 7th, asking Circuit Judge Bob LeBlanc to dismiss the case against him, LaForest Gray called himself the victim of, quote, very false and outrageous, unquote, accusations. He faces several charges in the February 13th shootout, including attempted first-degree murder and kidnapping. Deputies responded to the Citra at Windermere Apartments near Winter Garden, Vineland, and Reams Roads after a neighbor called 911 to report Gray beating his wife. Gray's live stream of the ensuing encounter showed deputies coaxing his wife out of the couple's garage while he shouted expletives at them. You'll finna see this. What?
You'll finna see this shit live, bro.
Yeah, Gray said to the camera, "I'll take one for the." Oh, I saw this video with the yellow car. Yeah, there was. I'm surprised the guy lived. They rained fire down on that guy. Body-worn camera footage released by the Orange County Sheriff's Office showed Gray holding a silver handgun and firing once toward deputies, who returned fire with more than a dozen shots. Nobody was wounded by the gunfire. That is like Pulp Fiction level miracle right there. Because I watched that footage, I think was it yesterday? I just randomly came across that, and damn, all right.
Real quick, Scribe. Diesel Dave says, all my exes live in Texas. All my exes live in Texas. Keep going. You can't just claim it's performance art when you start shooting this stuff because you were taping it at the time.
Yeah, firing a gun at police officers, worst kind of performance art.
I got to give him credit for originality and excuse. I mean, I've heard some good ones, but no, man, this was an art piece. That is beautiful.
He needed to be singing karaoke to make that claim.
Look, I say take 1 year off whatever sentence you give him for that. But yeah, still throw the book at this idiot. You shot at police, you idiot. That's not. It's just a prank, bro.
Apparently, he thought it was because, Jesus Christ,
that ain't finna be a prank, bro.
You finna go to prison, boy.
All right, this one comes from Frosted Glass. It's an opinion piece from The Guardian. Trump's regime is leading America in an insurrection.
Yeah, what?
You know, the first thing I think of now when I hear the word insurrection is Star Trek Insurrection.
Yes, which wasn't a good movie.
It was a good Star Trek story. It was an old-fashioned Star Trek story to a certain extent, but it wasn't a good movie.
Right.
It was probably one of the most Star Trek of the Star Trek movies in theme and stuff, but it was horribly done. It
could have been a good episode.
Yes, exactly. It could have been a two-parter episode of The Next Generation, but it was a lousy movie. Anyway, on Friday, Donald Trump praised Robert E. Lee, slaveholder, sadist, traitor, loser. It was his way of offering another attaboy to the neo-Nazis that marched in Charlottesville, Virginia, even after they killed Heather Heyer, beat an African-American man, and chanted, "Jews will not replace us," unquote.
After a sentence like that, you can already tell that this is not even worth reading.
Yeah, there's no quotes here, by the way.
Yeah, not a word of that was true. Like, literally none of it. It was just, here's a bunch of bullshit. Swallow it, consume it, believe it.
I love the next sentence. I'm not going to read the rest of this because it is dumb, but the first sentence, the next paragraph is, Trump's statement was a clear nod to his base, which this person then does not even bother to quote.
Do you want to know what he said about Robert E. Lee?
By all means.
He called him a great general. That's what he said.
Well, I mean, the Union sure thought he was when they tried to hire him on to lead the Continental Army.
He was a brilliant fucking general. Whether you like what side he was fighting for or not, he was a fucking brilliant general.
Like I said, he was 2 steps away from leading the Union Army.
Yeah.
But he said, no, I'm going back to my home in Virginia. That was really the only thing that differentiated Robert Lee from being on one side or the other. So he could have been on the winning side from the get-go, but he chose loyalty to his state over loyalty to the country. And anyway, whatever.
Jesus.
Moving on.
Look, Guardian, you limey fucks, stay out of our politics.
No, it's one person at the Guardian. It's not the Guardian. It's an opinion person at the Guardian. Let's be honest.
They let it be printed, and that is just nonsense.
Yeah.
Look,
hey,
yes,
even people I disagree with have the opportunity to speak on platforms I might otherwise not agree with either.
I was just telling them to shut the fuck up because they're morons.
Okay, that's fine. Good thing you don't have
a moron.
Let's see. This one comes from Quinn Harrison. For the second year, teachers march through Raleigh demanding more education funding. Okay. Thousands of teachers, other school employees, and their supporters marched through downtown Raleigh, North Carolina, and then held a rally near the state legislature Wednesday, demanding that lawmakers increase funding for public education and Medicaid. Okay. A sea of protesters wearing red filed up Fayetteville Street from the Duke Energy Center for the Performing Arts to the state capitol and the legislative building. They carried signs that talked about teacher pay, too much testing. The General Assembly and State School Superintendent Mark Johnson. Pop culture messages abounded in their signs, from Game of Thrones to Star Wars to the Avengers to Ariana Grande. Okay, I don't know much about the education funding in Raleigh, so
They need more money. They always do.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. On average, educators are paid woefully low sums as compared to some other public officials, but I don't have a solution to it. So this one comes from Froggy, the 5-foot-tall, red-headed female. That's how I think of Froggy now, perpetually.
Did you almost call her wet?
No, I said red-headed female.
Yeah, but before you got red-headed out properly, it sounded like you said wet.
Yeah, wascally wabbit. Stephen Moore. Excuse me?
Are you thinking a little too much about Froggy?
Well, frogs do need to maintain a certain level of moisture, monkey, to live.
Froggy, how moist are you right now?
Oh, boy. Okay. Stephen Moore gives painfully awkward explanation for racist Obama joke.
Oh.
Okay. I didn't hear about this. Stephen Moore, who is President Donald Trump's pick for a seat on the Federal Reserve Board, offered up a very awkward defense of a racist joke he once told about the family of former President Barack Obama. Moore stumbled during an interview with Margaret Hoover on PBS's Firing Line as he attempted to explain the gag he told after the 2016 election about Trump kicking, quote, a black family out of public housing, unquote.
Okay, that wasn't just his joke. That was all going around.
Previews of the interview were released online Tuesday. Quote, so you know that is a joke that I always made about, Obama lives in, the president lives in public housing, said Moore, but I didn't mean it like a black person did, unquote.
What?
What
the fuck does that mean?
I just meant that, being in the White House, for example, I'm reading it as it's written, guys. When I was working with a lot of women in families who were involved in the education voucher program, here in DC, and people would say, well, and these were blacks who would say, why does Barack Obama get to send his kids to any school that he wants to and we can't? And they'd say he lives in public housing, and it was kind of a joke, and that was referring ...
We all know what you were referring to. We all know what the joke is.
Yeah.
Stop it. I don't have a problem with the joke, but stop it. You know what? You were making a racist joke. And you know what? That's okay sometimes. Just say, yeah, I was making a joke and leave it. No, that explanation, that's what makes me think you're an asshole.
Yeah, because cover-up is worse than the crime.
Yeah, because you weren't making a joke because you thought it was funny. You were making a joke because you thought it was funny to be racist.
Yeah.
Like, look, I get to do it in full view. Stop it.
Let's see. This one comes from Chicago Mike, if it wants to come up. South Carolina may use firing squad as alternative death penalty method.
Say what?
Okay, before I read this, I bet I know why. Okay, for over the last several years, the companies that make the chemicals used in lethal injection, most of them are like European countries or companies in European countries and such. And they have strict moral codes about their products being used for killing people. And they've stopped manufacturing them and or stopped exporting them. And so being able to do lethal injection in the United States has become more and more difficult. And they try to find alternatives to the drugs they used to be able to get that have ended up in doing some pretty crazy shit to people when they've tried to use it on them. I'm wondering if going back to firing squads isn't an alternative to trying to do what they can't do anymore with lethal injection. That's my...
We got bullets everywhere.
Let's see. South Carolina lawmakers are considering legislation that would add firing squads to the state's existing execution methods. The House Criminal Laws Subcommittee on Thursday approved a Senate proposal that also changes South Carolina's default execution method to the electric chair. Lawmakers acted after prison officials told them they don't have the drugs needed for lethal injection and don't know when they will be able to obtain them. I was right. Don Zelenka is South Carolina's Deputy Attorney General. He says 29 prisoners are currently on death row. The bill has passed the Senate. If the House Judiciary Committee approves it, it could pass the House before the legislature adjourns May 9th. South Carolina's last execution was in May 2011. Wasn't the last firing squad death like in Utah or something?
Yeah, and it's been a while.
It's been a while. Yeah, I remember. I remember seeing like an American Justice episode where they talked about that. It was a guy who had like some kind of crime spree guy that got caught, and then he wanted to be executed by firing squad. And it was like the last one in the country for long.
Yeah, they actually had to go through quite a bit to get it done.
I think so. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and all you really got to do is have a white class come through there, and sure, there's one shooter in there.
Yikes!
Just me.
It's
seriously. If you want to make it as nice as possible, go back to the guillotine. It's quick, it's effective, it's a little messy, but no problems.
I'd rather have death by snoo.
Me too, but I mean, these guys don't get to choose very much. It is the most humane way to do it.
Scribe, would you prefer death by snoo if it wasn't by giant, sexy Amazon bitches, but by just really my 600-pound life women?
Oh.
Death by 600-pound snoo.
Yeah, maybe not that.
with garlic in the vag.
Oh. All right. Well, on to other things. This one comes from the Yodeling Monster. Man who threatened to hang Obama and kill Maxine Waters gets nearly 4 years in prison.
I feel like that's not enough for somebody who threatened to kill a president.
Yeah. Well, this was so he wasn't a sitting president at the time.
I don't care.
Yeah, still. A New York man. I'm just saying. I wonder if that maybe is what the differential is in the law. I wonder if it's about a sitting president. A New York man convicted of making racist threats to kill former President Barack Obama and Representative Maxine Waters was sentenced to nearly 4 years in prison. Stephen J. Taubert of Syracuse was ordered Tuesday by a federal judge to serve 46 months, followed by 3 years of supervised release. In June 2017, Taubert made several calls to the office of then-Senator Al Franken, threatening to go to Obama's Washington home and hang him. During the calls, Taubert repeatedly used, quote, vile racial slurs, unquote, and said he would kill the former president, the district attorney's office said. A little over a year later, Taubert called the Los Angeles Office of Waters and made racist threats, including saying he would kill her and every member of her staff. Taubert, 61, told detectives that he called Waters to terrorize her over public comments she had made, the district attorney's office said. A jury found him guilty in Syracuse in March of threatening to kill a former president. Yeah.
Did it just go quiet for everybody else, or was that just me again?
No, it was fine.
No, I was talking the whole time.
Monkey?
It was good for me.
Okay. Yeah, it went like completely silent for a second there. That was weird. Right.
A jury found him guilty in a Syracuse federal court in March of threatening to kill a former president, transmitting a threat via interstate commerce, and threatening to murder a member of Congress. Yeah, so killing a former president. So, like I say, I'm just wondering if there's a legal differential between sitting and former that makes it a lesser crime slightly.
Real quick, over on the super chat, Johnny Hellcat, semi truck snoo. And over on the Streamlabs, where's the come up? Damn it! There we go. Seal 77, thank you. Ronnie Lee Gardner, January 16, 1961 to June 18, 2010, was an American criminal who received the death penalty for shooting a man in the face and killing him during a robbery in 1985. Was executed by the firing squad by the state of Utah in 2010. Thank you.
Oh, was it that recently? Huh? I thought it was a lot. I thought it was a lot further in the past. Okay. Yeah, I knew Utah was one of the few states that had it. I thought it was a lot longer ago, though.
Don't threaten public officials. Don't threaten people. But, yeah, I don't know why. Maybe it's the American in me. You don't threaten our presidents or former presidents. Fuck you. No, you go away for the rest of your little life, 61-year-old crazy racist.
This one comes from Shrieking Ballbag. Chemical burns from hair product leave a woman scalped. Oh, I don't want to see that picture. That is, they even have it digitized out, but I can already tell I don't want to see that picture.
Yikes.
Idania Rivera is suing a Houston area hair salon and a hair product manufacturer. Quote, she has been literally scalped, said Hilda Cibrian, one of Rivera's attorneys, during a press conference on Wednesday. Her treating doctors are telling us that, frankly, they've never seen a burn like this from a hair product, added Mo Aziz, another one of Rivera's attorneys. Another one of Rivera's attorney. No, you mean attorneys. Story. Anyway, the lawsuit claims the nightmare began in March when she went to Unique Boutique and Hair on Wood Forest Boulevard in East Harris County. She says the stylist used Pravana Pure Light Power Lightener, and just after an hour, she felt like her scalp was on fire. She complained to the stylist. Quote, they removed the foil and then they rinsed her head, said Siberian. When she was in extreme pain, she was given a couple of Advils and told to go on her way, unquote. In the coming days, Rivera would be in and out of the emergency room. She says on top of the excruciating pain, her face began to swell, and the swelling just barely stayed above her throat. Had it reached her throat, Rivera says a doctor said she could have died. When Fox 26 went to the salon, a stylist said she had not seen or heard about what had happened to Rivera after she left the salon and could not comment. In a statement, the Henkel Corporation, who owns Pravana International, said, quote, we care deeply about people who use our products. We have not been contacted by this individual or either of the two law firms. Therefore, we have no information about this situation and cannot comment on this person's experience. We welcome contacts through our call line to address questions and comments. Rivera's attorneys say they went to the salon to pick up the product to have it tested. Quote, we need to figure out whether this is just a bad batch or this was an application error, says Aziz. The stylist was not named on the lawsuit, but Rivera's attorneys say that could change. Wait, so you brought a lawsuit, but you didn't name the person who did it, and you didn't name or send a copy of anything to the company that you blame for doing it.
Well, that's what the company is saying.
Yeah, I suppose, but
yeah, it could be the product. But I'm guessing this is something that's been used a lot. This is probably an application error, and they're going after the company because the stylist ain't got the money she needs to take care of getting her scalp burned off.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, there would have to be something really crazy in the product by itself to basically melt your head. So,
Right.
Well, it's a lightener. I mean, that's got bleach and shit in it. You got to
Sure.
be very careful with how that shit's applied.
That's true. Okay, I'm gonna do one more before my my voice gives out because I'm feeling kind of this one comes from Purveyor of Perversion. If it'll come up. Woman develops not reaching pouch to save Black lives during traffic stops.
What?
On July 6, 2016, Jackie Carter was at home in Pennsylvania celebrating her son's 30th birthday when she heard the news that a Minnesota man, 32-year-old Philandro Castile, had been shot and killed by a police officer. Castile was driving with his girlfriend and her child when he was pulled over by Officer Geronimo Yanez. Yanez claimed to see Castile reaching for his gun and fired several shots. Yanez would later testify in court he had, quote-unquote, no choice, and that he thought he was going to die. Moments after the shooting, Castile can be heard saying he wasn't reaching for his gun. Carter, who doesn't know Castile, remembered thinking to herself, someone has got to come up with a solution. From her perspective, Carter says the critical moment during the traffic stop was when Castile reached for his license. That gave her the idea to create a small, clear identification pouch that can be attached to the driver's side air vent of the vehicle. She thought that this would keep young men from reaching around their cars while looking for license and registration documents and setting off potentially dangerous interactions with the police. She calls the pouch not reaching. Quote, I'm more fearful for my son in a car than when he's serving in Afghanistan, Carter tells NBC BLK. NBC BLK? Wait, does NBC have a black affiliate channel or something?
I don't know.
BLK.
That's pretty crazy that she fears more for her kid here than in Afghanistan. Afghanistan?
Yeah, but the thing is, though, is that, I mean, okay, the insurance card registration, fine, but I mean, generally speaking, you're supposed to have your identification on you at all times. So if you put it into a little pouch on the side of your car, you're either likely to forget it or you're likely to forget to put it in it because you conceivably have it on your person when you're walking around. So,
right. What if it flies off?
Yeah, I guess you just have to remember to put it there. Or if you've got like a, can you carry 2 copies of your license? Can you get 2 copies of your license? No? Okay. Let's see. The officer, oh wait, this is different. Okay, well, anyway, so she invented it. I mean, it's just a little plastic pouch. It just fits onto your little air conditioning vent. And yeah, so
I don't have a problem with it. I mean, that's fine. But using that example, I mean, he was told not to, and they already knew he had a gun on it because he told him, which is what he should have done.
But yeah, he did what he was supposed to do.
Except he wasn't listening to what the officer said. That's what got him shot. Don't reach. That's what he was told, and he did it anyway. I'm gonna grab this. No, don't. Yeah, if it helps, good. If it helps people not get shot, that's great. I have no problem with it in that manner. But
I just thought of like whenever I've taken a taxi cab, they have like the person's taxi license. You know, it's like strapped in right against the wall or whatever. I don't see why that wouldn't be something you couldn't have something similar for just like regular drivers in their cars.
Just leave your wallet on the dashboard.
Yeah, something. All right, I'm gonna get some water because my voice is starting to give out, so I'll be right back.
That's cool. I'm gonna blatantly steal a story from Ghost Poo today because I love this one. I put this on MSS News. Yeah, I'm pulling rank here. This is my show tonight. I kind of want to wait for Scribe so he can hear it.
Which one was it, Monkey?
The Flushing one.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Johnny Hellcat, thank you. State laws differ, but you can carry 2 licenses as long as they are in the same state. Fair enough. I'd imagine they also have to be exactly the same too. How do you get a second copy of your license?
I don't know. I didn't know you could.
Head down to the DMV or the Secretary of State, depending on which state you live in. Okay. Scribbles, get your ass back here. I want to read this. All right. Pennsylvania man accused of flushing grandparents' ashes down the toilet.
Yeah.
I'm back.
Oh, you just missed the headline.
What?
I'm reading a story I put up here, Scribe, because read it on Ghost Poo tonight and it made me laugh. Pennsylvania man accused of flushing grandparents' ashes down the toilet.
Like accidentally, or he just really hated them?
No. He didn't hate them. Okay, let me get to the story. A man in western Pennsylvania faces criminal charges after he allegedly flushed his grandparents' ashes down a toilet after his mother kicked him out of her home.
Oh, what an asshole.
Yeah. Thomas Wells had been staying with his mother. Thomas Wells, 33, had been staying with his mother at her Pittsburgh home for a brief time until she asked him to leave last September. Wells' mother, Denise Porter, told police she'd become tired of her son's drinking and marijuana use when she asked him to leave. A few months later, Porter told the police she learned from a relative that her son had flushed her late mother and father's remains down a toilet before leaving her house. The ashes had been kept in a box set up with memorial in Porter's bedroom. Wells denied flushing the ashes in the home in a phone conversation with his mother, but Porter said Wells later told her in a text message he would flush her remains down the toilet after she died.
Jesus.
He faces 2 counts of abuse of a corpse and 1 count of criminal mischief. Now, I don't mind the criminal mischief.
Abuse of a corpse?
Right? Isn't that weird?
Not a corpse. What?
It's just ashes at that point.
Yeah, that's... I mean, don't get me wrong. It's still a shitty thing to do, but that seems like a weird charge to put on it.
That's a dick move. I need you to get out of my house, son. Where's your mom?
Oh.
Flush that bitch down the toilet.
That is like I said, that is next level petty. That is some straight up, like, come on, dude.
What kind of asshole do you have to be?
That kind, apparently.
His parents messed up long before that. Yeah, probably. But still, that story, man, what kind of a dick. Anyhow, that wraps up the MSS News, guys. Thanks for the submissions. You guys are amazing. Thanks for helping us out with that. But it's time to move on. Satsu, do you know what time it is?
I have no idea.
It is YouTube time.
Satsu doesn't know how to read a clock.
Satsu, what did you do today?
I have no idea.
Yes, you.
Wow.
I did a stream earlier today. I bought some really hot ramen from Amazon that came from Korea, and it was fucking delicious. It was I did a challenge to see if I can eat it while playing a game. So I made the noodles. I got all bougie and put a bunch of extra shit in there because it wasn't just like regular noodles weren't going to fill me up. So I hooked it up. Didn't change the flavor or anything at all, but it was hot. Like I got a nice little sweat going on, and it was but it wasn't, like I said, it was hot, but it was actually fucking good, which is one of the things that I hate when people try to get me to try hot stuff. They're like, "Oh, try it. It's so spicy." And then you try it, and it's like, yeah, okay, this is hot, but it tastes like garbage. So it's like, well, that doesn't make me happy at all. So I was happy that it was spicy and it tasted good. The bad part, though, is it wasn't as hot as I thought it was going to be. So now I'm kind of obligated to get the next level up, which is the 2 times hot. Now, like I said, this was hot, but it wasn't horrible. But I feel like the next one's going to be the one that kind of puts me out of commission. So what I basically did is I streamed it on my game channel because I was playing a game or whatever. afterwards, and I'm going to upload the footage itself over to my Fam 2 Cents channel. And the process of me cooking all the ingredients and stuff ahead of time is going to be added to that video. So outside of just the stream alone, you'll see that over there too. And then when the new one or the hotter one comes in, we'll be doing this again. But I might actually stream that on this channel, well, on my Satsu 2 Cents channel. Who knows? We'll see. But yeah, it was fun. This one was fun. I don't think the next one's going to be though.
I did Monkey in the Morning, and then both me and Satsu were over on Ghost Poo, filling in for Sinatra, and Undoomed was with us. Who unfortunately, for some reason, could not hear me for the whole stream.
Yeah.
He and I weren't ignoring each other. If you guys watched that, he just could not hear me. I think he was ignoring me. But what'd you do today, Scribbles?
Oh, nothing nearly as cool as being on Ghost Poo or talking to Undoomed, because I had to work like a real person. I've got like 3 different project folders on my desktop right now, as I'm wont to do from time to time. So I've done a little bit of work on a whole bunch of things, but nothing significant enough to really get anything done. So that's what I'm working on right now.
Gotcha.
At some point, I may have, depending on how the weekend goes, I might have something out this weekend. Or I might have 3 things out in succession in a week or something. I don't know. We'll see.
All righty. Cool.
Yeah.
Scribe and Undoomed should do a collab.
Oh, man. Undoomed is like, masterclass snark. And I don't know if I don't know. I feel intimidated.
Yeah, Data says he muted you a while back, Monkey. That's hurtful. That brings us on to the fucking tree. I honestly don't think I have very much tonight. Like I said, I didn't get out of bed till like 4:30, and then I was over on Ghost Poo at 5:30, and then didn't really get back to the internet until we started. So hopefully you guys did some.
I got one thing. I got one small thing. So Eric Swellwell.
Oh God,
this is amazing. So I want to read this verbatim so I don't get it wrong here. Because hold on, let me pull up my little.
Oh God, yes.
My little snark about it. But before that, I want to say I've made a prediction about who the next super bad guy will be in the Marvel Universe in the next series. My fingers are crossed, honestly, for Namor the Submariner.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I hope King of Atlantis becomes the next big bad. But anyway, Eric Swellwell tweeted this out today. Do you know how many times the word woman is mentioned in the Constitution? 0. That is unacceptable. Women must be equally represented and equally protected. Hashtag ERA now. And for those of you that don't know, the ERA is the Equal Rights Amendment. And I said, do you know how many times the word woman will be mentioned in the Constitution if you pass the ERA now? 0. Still, I agree with passing the ERA now. Yeah, if you read the amendment, the ERA, the word woman, women, nothing. It does not appear. It just says, where is it? I'll quote myself directly here, so I make it. Section 1, equality of rights under the law shall not be denied or abridged by the United States or by any state on account of sex, unquote. That's it. That is the pertinent passage in the thing. There's 3 sections, but the other 2 just refer to the law being accepted in the other states. So Eric Swalwell is a moron, at least on this point.
Do you know how many times the word man is in there?
0.
0. Do you know what word they use in the Constitution?
Men?
People.
People. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. We people. Yeah.
People. Thank you, Diesel Dave. MRA now.
Yeah, I know. I think the ERA should be asked. MRA now. Yeah.
No, that's not how the Constitution is. and it is specifically vague.
Yeah.
It's not sexed at all.
I mean, that just confirms the point that we keep making about these people. Is they're like our base. They're idiots. They'll believe anything we say. Like, it doesn't matter that the word man isn't in there either. None of them has read a word of it. They have no idea what the fuck we're talking about. All we have to do is say it, make it sound horrible, and they'll be like, oh my God. And then they'll start parroting it all over the internet like fucking morons. And that's all we need to do. Like, evidence, proof, all that shit. None of it's worthless. It's completely worthless because nobody gives a fuck who reads this.
Yeah. And the way you write, you know how many times that woman is in there? None. That's unacceptable. So you're just going to go start scribbling in the word woman in the Constitution?
Yeah.
Would that make it better? You fucking idiots. You don't get this. The founders were smarter than you. I know you think that because we're 232 years on, that somehow you become so much more intelligent. And look, there's probably people out there who are smarter than the founders, but you ain't one of them, Eric. You're a douche nozzle. This is a man running to be our president, and he's a sitting representative who has obviously never paid attention to the Constitution and wants to tell us how to change it.
Well, I just love that his, he pronounced his candidacy, just like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, something like that.
Couple weeks, yeah.
One of his first premier virtue signals is completely non sequitur. It's just it's not even in there. Like,
Well, I actually came across this because of Patricia Arquette.
Oh.
Was up on the Hill testifying before Congress, and she repeats the same fucking retarded nonsense.
Oh no!
Like it's not, the word woman's not in there, and it is our time.
At least she has the excuse of being an actress and not like a legal scholar or politician. Swalwell doesn't have that excuse,
and that's fine. But if you're going to make that argument, you need to at least know how many times the word man is in there. Go ahead.
Well, the important question is, then how has it applied to you this whole time? Like, so
I'm above the law.
Well, no, that means you're non-existent as far as the law is concerned. So you don't have freedom of speech. So if a female reporter gets, and something goes on, she's like, freedom, that doesn't apply to you. Remember, woman isn't mentioned at all. That doesn't apply to you. You don't have any rights. Remember, like.
Diesel Dave, thank you. You laugh until you're fighting for your parental rights. I laughed because I thought you were making a joke, but we just
that's why the ERA should be passed. If the ERA is passed, then there'll be plenty of legal arguments against treating fathers any differently than mothers when it comes to parental rights and everything else.
Right.
We went over this not too long ago. I don't know if you guys remember this, but Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez suggested she should be able to run for president because the Constitution doesn't say women have to be 35.
All right, I remember this now.
Yeah, and we had to explain to Miss Cortez that it says the person, no person who hasn't reached the age of 35.
Yes.
No person, you silly bitch.
Oh, I got a bit of fucketry if everybody else is done.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I haven't even started, but yeah, go ahead because it's your turn.
Okay.
After.
So did you guys see how much Sandman is suing for?
Sandman.
The Covington Catholic kid.
Oh no!
Sandman. Oh yeah. Okay. I thought like Sandman. I was like, what is Sandman?
No, Sandman. Yeah. He sued NBC for $275 million.
Oh, he's upped it. Last I heard. Well, who was this? Was he
the kid? The Covington. NBC.
Yeah, because he's suing the Washington Post for $250.
Right.
I wonder why he's doing it more for NBC.
I don't know.
Probably because they've seen more, and probably maybe they said more, had more stories on it.
That's awesome. Get him, Sandman.
I mean, people still to this day are slandering this kid, so it's just like he has ample evidence of, what is it, defamation and all kinds of shit. So it's still out there. It's still out there and very, very present. So.
Diesel Dave, I'm fighting to see my godsons, and I hope you get to. And seriously, the NRA would help with this kind of stuff. The
NRA?
ERA.
The NRA would help you. No, don't use the NRA to solve this problem.
Yeah, there I go. There goes my potential. The ERA would basically make the MRAs pointless, in theory.
Well, it would give them ample constitutional ground to sue against unequal treatment and other such policies. Yeah.
Well, what a lot of people don't understand is if this passes, or once it does, I guess, if I don't know what the chances of it going through or whatever, but if it does, all these companies that are doing all these diversity incentives and shit, they think it's going to help them. No, they're going to be fucked. They're going to be fucked.
Did you have anything else there?
No, that was pretty much the main thing. Outside of that, I saw there was a thread full of people being attacked by because they were saying violence against the left and all that shit like that. But it's an entire thread of just random people constantly being attacked for wearing MAGA hats.
Oh yeah, it's amazing how violent that MAGA hat is. I mean, it's never the person wearing it. There was a great video I saw yesterday, I think it was. There's this guy who does a YouTube channel, and he was at an Antifa rally, and he's walking into the middle of these guys asking them, he's being a jackass. I'm not going to lie to you. He's asking them why they're dressed up like that. What was he asking them? Like if they were ninjas or some silly shit. He was obviously mocking them. Mm-hmm. But he's walking through them, and this guy's like, don't go in there. It's not safe for you. And he's like, why? I'm an American. This is a free country. I can be wherever they want. And somebody hit him.
Oh no.
And this motherfucker clocked 6 or 7 of these guys before they finally stopped trying to fuck with him. Damn. They're trying to hit him with sticks, and he just punches, and all of it was self-defense. And again, he was being a dick, but that ain't a reason to, legally, I'm okay with him punching you. But yeah, it was funny. It's amazing how fucking sad these people are. Dame Piglet, thank you. In honor of the Sandman. I like watching videos of Antifa trying to get violent and then getting the shit beat out of them. It amuses me. They need to bundle MAGA hats with shirts that say concealed carry permit holder.
Oh.
Go get somebody shot. Now, the one that I saw, and I actually saw this while we were on Ghost Poo today, Senator Gillibrand.
Oh, right.
She's running for president, y'all. Nobody's paying any attention to her. But she's come up with a way to make to take the money out of politics.
Oh, yeah.
She's going to take the money out of politics by giving everybody up to $600 to donate to political campaigns.
Wait, you mean she's going to give taxpayer money to taxpayers to spend on candidates?
Yes.
What?
You can give up to $200 for your House races, $200 for your Senate races, and $200 for the presidential run. So,
wow, how generous!
Isn't that nice of her?
Yeah.
And then you won't be able to give any other money. His channel's called That Is the Point with Brandon. Thank you, Tyler. Yeah, that's the guy who beat the shit out of those guys, and they deserved it, which was funny as shit. But yeah, so Senator Gillibrand has this idea. Yeah, you're going to be able to. She's going to give all of us money,
our own money,
to give to her.
Yes.
So she's bribing people to vote with their own money. Yes, it's exactly what she's doing. Not just bribing them to vote. You don't even still have to vote with this. All you got to do is be like, oh, I got this money. I'll throw it to Senator Gillibrand. You're still not going to get money, honey. Nobody cares about you.
Can you imagine seeing some dumbass thinking this is a good? It's just like, here, vote for me. I'll give you this suitcase of money, and you hand it right back. And oh my god, that's so generous of you. It's just like,
how would she make sure that you spend it only on candidates, though? I mean, vouchers or something?
Yes. Under Gillibrand's plan, every eligible voter would register for vouchers to donate up to $100 in primary elections and $100 in general election each cycle, either all at once or in $10 increments up to one or more candidates over time.
Oh, voucher. So it's not actual money. It's like a IOU from the government that you're giving to somebody else. That makes even less sense. And watch all the YouTube videos of people burning their vouchers.
I mean, that's fucking stupid, honey. I get it. Go ahead.
How is this supposed to take money out of?
Because this would be the only political donations allowed.
Oh, okay.
Allowed, like, for anybody?
Let's see. Where do we go?
I'm confused. Like ever for anybody anywhere? Like corporations would only get like $600 a pop or something?
Politicians would face much tighter limit on donations to be eligible to receive democracy dollars. A candidate would have to voluntarily agree to forego any contribution larger than $200 per donor.
Voluntarily.
Yeah. So if they want the democracy dollars, you get a side of freedom prize with that.
Yeah. So either you get the democracy dollars, which is probably a very small, tiny number of donations, or you can go every other route that's already existing and get millions of dollars for your campaign through the normal ways.
This would work out for somebody like Bernie Sanders.
Yeah, okay, sure.
Because Bernie Sanders, honestly, guys, he gets a lot of really small $5, $10 donations.
Yeah, that's true.
So if he was getting $200 from all of those people, yeah, he'd get a huge boost. Senator Gillibrand here would still get nothing.
Yeah.
Because nobody cares about her. Fucking freedom or democracy dollars.
Freedom fries.
It would be hilarious though if everybody was just like, you know what, let's try this out. We haven't done anything new for a while, and they did it, and she got like nothing. And she was just like, see, my plan, it works. You guys put your money where you wanted it to be.
Currently only about
cry at a corner.
Currently only about 0.5% of Americans contribute more than $200 to campaigns each cycle.
Why the hell would I give my money to them?
They need their look, Satsu. How are they going to get into power and take your money if you don't give them money to get elected in the first place?
You raise a very sound argument.
That was the other one I had here. Okay, this one just kind of annoyed me. I read this from the Quartering this morning. It says, "Dear fellow YouTubers, stop making videos about Onision. He's only existing because of other people's coverage. It's the exact same reason I stopped making videos about Anita Sarkeesian. Let them disappear."
Wait, is he like Candyman? Like he only comes to life when you say his name 3 times?
Yeah, apparently. Okay. I was a little bit more snarky than I probably should have been. Like, Anita disappeared because you stopped making videos?
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Anita Sarkeesian disappeared because she got a job.
Yeah.
She has a job. I think she actually has her own firm. I think it's Diversity Crap, which is a very big industry right now.
Yep.
She didn't go away because people stopped making videos about her. She got a job.
Diversity, for all the videos that I make about it, as nutsy as it is a huge industry right now. Yeah. There is so much money being spent by corporations to make their optics correct and here's the other thing. Here's what I don't mention enough in my videos. For whatever ridiculousness that diversity and inclusive programs might actually promote, at the end of the day, you know what it is? It's lawsuit insurance.
Yep.
If someone comes up and says, well, you did X, Y, and Z, it's like, no, look at how much we've spent on this diversity and inclusion program. We've explicitly stated that we look for this, and this. It is lawsuit insurance against claims of discrimination, which is so backwards given what they're actually doing, but that's part of the justification.
Well, it's funny. Like Anita, she came in and she did exactly what she planned on doing. She said, I want to take advantage of this current platform and I want to use it to catapult myself into some kind of position. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to ride this fucking wave until it gets me somewhere. And she did. It got her somewhere and she got the fuck off the wave. Like, and now she's doing whatever the fuck it is Anita Sarkeesian is doing right now. But yeah, she used all of us and riled us up and got us pissed off, got her name in the news enough to where now she's able to do her own thing. And now she don't give a fuck about that shit no more.
Well, she was in Time magazine over at a moment, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she didn't go away because, and I don't mean to be a dick about that, but this idea that Onision only exists because people are making videos about him is ridiculous. Onision has been at this for a long time. Even when nobody is, because believe it or not, there are times when nobody pays attention to him.
Yep.
And he still makes videos.
Well, that's what's funny about it, because he's been around longer than most of the people who are saying this type of shit.
Yeah.
Like he's been around for quite some time.
I haven't heard Onision's name until Monkey just read that story. Basically, like I don't even think about the guy.
We didn't talk about that drama because I watch all my drama and I don't necessarily bring it to the fucketry part.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that in a second. Real quick, Scribe, I don't know if you saw it. I just threw a link into the chat there. This is details. The guys over at PC Gamer got to go take a look at Masquerade Bloodlines 2.
Oh, they did.
So yeah,
Okay.
so there's their first look at their take on it. So
Okay.
I know you're really watching that game. So
I've always got my fingers crossed for things like that I have a certain amount of sentimental love for. But these days, especially, I'm always very, very cautious. And the bits and pieces I'm seeing so far, the way they rolled out the announcement, the pre-orders, the canned cinematic they used as the preview,
mm-hmm.
I'm worried. And especially, well, I guess, but most especially, the changes they've made to the setting in the 5th edition of the core rulebook and how that supposedly is the jumping off point for the plot of this game. Yeah, anyway.
Well, one, I occasionally have problems with PC Gamer, but for the most part, I trust their reviews and stuff.
Yeah.
This isn't a review; it's a first look, so take it for what it's worth.
Sure,
but,
yeah.
And it's a really long one. It's not like 3 paragraphs. So, anyway, back to Onision. Onision's been going around blocking videos.
Blocking videos?
Blocking videos for copyright.
Oh, I see.
He did one. He hit Mr. Repsion. Apparently, he hit some of Blair White's, and they're not necessarily even like new ones. But yeah, he's going in and blocking them, which is weird because, and I was actually talking to Mr. Repsion about this because he's like, there's nothing I can do about it. Like, well, there's a couple things you can't do. You can sue. That is a possibility. The other thing to do, and I never heard back from him, but if your video is actually removed from YouTube or it's blocked by YouTube, they're supposed to allow you to do something called a counterclaim.
Right.
And a counterclaim, if you file a this is not an appeal. This is an actual legal thing where you file a counterclaim saying, no, I'm allowed to use this. And once you file that counterclaim, YouTube has 10 days or 14 business days to put your stuff back up after they let the other person know that you filed a counterclaim. And the only thing that'll keep it down is if they actually go out and file legal action against you and show YouTube proof of that.
Right.
It puts the onus back on them. And
God forbid.
Right. Because there is so much abuse of the DMCA.
Onision.
There you go. Yeah, he's running around being a dickhole doing that stuff. And I haven't heard back from Rep. I'll have to reach out to him and see if he looked into that further, because a lot of people get upset with YouTube and how they allow abuse of the DMCA. It's hard to prove intent. If somebody, like when CBS, they hit everybody who did the Adam Ruins Everything video
Oh yeah.
on alpha males. And those little shits, because if you get hit with a strike like that, guys, or a claim like that, it's not a strike. They're just saying this is ours and they can't show it. And then you file an appeal. And they have up to 30 days to respond to that appeal. And they waited, I think it was 27 days for my video before they released it, the little shits.
Mm-hmm.
You can't then go, well, CBS was doing this to be an ass. You can't prove, they weren't busy. They just never got to it, that kind of stuff. So it's really hard. Yeah, we can go, this is obvious abuse, but it's such a gray area they have to maintain for what they call safe harbor status. They have to follow these certain rules. So I'm with so many people, like they need to, people like Onision, he's quite clearly abusing the system here. But again, you can't say that without actually being inside his head. It's really hard to prove that part. So yeah, that's why the system is the junk that it is right now. But you just got to make sure you appeal, and if you have to, file a counterclaim, because man, it's getting weird out there. Yeah, Onision's on a tear because he's really upset that his life is falling all apart, guys. His husband and him are they're having troubles.
Oh, he's married? I didn't know that.
Oh, he's been married for quite a long time to a girl named Lainey, who's now a boy. Yeah. It is such a shit show. He's another one of my favorite guilty pleasures, because I just go over there to watch him whine about his life, because he's ruined it. He has ruined it. There's so much he could do if he would just shut the fuck up and make his videos instead of. He's the one who whines more about people making videos about him than people actually make videos about him. But yeah, he clickbait's like a nut motherfucker. He had one the other day. Me and my husband have broke up or something like that, and then you get in there. It's not that they've actually broke up. So as far as the internet's concerned, they broke up. I'm like, oh god damn you. Yeah, he's such a shit show. But yeah, he's really mad at Repsion right now, because Repsion has been yeah, he's been all over him for a little bit. Ling has a thing. I don't know what that means, Data.
What?
Oh, I've been waiting for that. Guys, this is completely off topic, but you guys know I like the VR stuff, and I know Monkey's kind of iffy on it, and I don't know how Scribe feels about VR.
Never. Yeah, last VR I did was that stand-up thing at the arcade in like 97 when you shot like with the big goggles on your head. That was VR for me.
Well, my biggest kind of hurdle, because I got the PlayStation VR, and then I've used the phone ones, and I was looking at the PC ones, and I haven't gotten them because there's the setup is just kind of ridiculous, and the cables and all that shit or whatever. Well, Oculus is coming out with the Quest, and it is completely wireless, standalone, no monitor, no nothing. It is a standalone system that comes with 2 controllers, and it's 100% wireless. And I need this in my life. I was looking at the page right now because I was scrolling through looking for some other shit, but I want it. I need it. I gotta have it.
To me, a VR is just a fancy monitor.
It's a gimmick. It's just like 3D in movies and stuff. I'm just kind of like, I don't really see the point.
Yeah, I've experienced quite a bit of VR since I've had my PlayStation headset or whatever, and it's taken me a while to really kind of see the applications behind it. But once I got the actual PlayStation VR and was able to do certain things or whatever, like I really enjoy the VR experience. So I can't wait for this to come out.
All right, guys, that's going to lead us into the the question and answer period of our show. This is where you ask us your deepest, darkest questions, and we make jokes about them. No, seriously. Questions, comments, concerns, throw them into the chat now. We will do our best to answer. Don't forget, no game stream tonight. It's just this, guys. So there you go. Bring it on. Leon says he is talking about porn. Have you seen VR porn? It's really bad.
Have you watched VR porn in VR?
I've seen a little bit of VR porn. Is like I'm gonna go watch real porn.
I was about to say, I've heard people talk about VR porn. I'm like, did you watch it in VR? And they're like, no. I'm like, oh well.
No, it was in VR. I mean, my VR headset. I was like, huh. I want to be. If you're gonna give me VR, I want to be close enough to smell it.
Next on the line,
Smell-o-vision.
Satsu, have you watched an anime called Laughing Salesman?
No.
Animes are called anything, aren't they?
Yeah. Well, what happens is like they'll have some like cool sounding Japanese name or whatever, and then when you translate it, it's just like, oh.
Like I bet I could say, hey, have you guys watched the new anime Speed Bump? and I probably wouldn't be a far off base. There's probably an anime out there called Speed Bump.
All right.
Monkey, how is your bastard sword? That's not what we call it. Mine's a long sword, thank you. This was in my recommended feed today, too. I don't know what you're talking about. Wow, no questions. Usually we get so many. Come on, guys.
People aren't interested.
I see that.
They just don't care.
Do you guys know Caster Semina, the high testosterone female, has no ovaries, womb, but in fact had internal testicles? I don't know what any of that means.
Well, having internal testicles is one of the possible iterations of being intersex.
Oh yeah, I get that. I just don't know how that all relates to any. No, I haven't read any story about anybody named Caster or anything. I have seen so much about that weightlifter.
Yes,
that's all over the place because Shahi broke so many, like 4 records the other day. Like, wow, the person who was a dude until he realized he wasn't any good at male weightlifting and became a woman so he could compete is breaking all the records.
Amazing.
It's almost like men are stronger than women. The game stream is 7 Days to Die, and Genty will try to stream it. Ranting Monkey, we will all be in there having fun, guys. That's over on the 7 Days to Die open server, which you can find on mine or Satsu's. Not Streamlabs. What's the word I'm looking for?
Discord.
Thank you. Yeah, up in the upper right, you'll find the information pinned on both of those. What else do we have going on here? Are you planning to get Death Stranding?
Once I actually figure out what the fuck it's supposed to be about.
I saw some gameplay footage a while back, and it looks like some kind of crazy sci-fi / horror. It reminded me a lot of, no, not David Lynch, Cronenberg. So it reminded me of like a Videodrome or Existenz kind of stuff. For you movie freaks out there to know what I'm talking about. That's what it reminded me of in sort of a weird abstract way, but I have no idea what it's about either. But yeah,
there was more to the question also. Death Stranding, Ready or Not, or Darkest Dungeon 2?
Oh,
no, and no.
Yeah.
Plus Polly is live streaming tonight. Yeah, I don't know if he started yet. He's supposed to start at 10, but he usually ends up going at like 11:15. So comic book curation over on Polydub's channel. That's probably where I'll tune in after I'm done here. I'll play some video games while I listen to those guys. In total, do you think Trump is bad or good president? Oof.
Wait until he's out of the office first. I don't have an idea on that one.
So far, yes.
Yeah.
There are definitely things he's done that I am not happy with. I don't care about him saying, fake news and them all hand wringing. Hey, God, that's fake news. You are fake news a lot of times. I do have problems when he suggests we should tell NBC they're not allowed to talk anymore. Like, ooh, Mr. President. No. And no, he hasn't said that. He's actually talked about removing their license, which is like, no. Just because they say things you don't like, you can't do that. Scribe Light, will there only be 5 clans? There will only be 5 clans in the games. I hope they don't cut out Malkavians. What is there? Is there a clan you can see them cutting out?
I could see them cutting. So okay, and this is my cynical side talking. I could see them cutting out Malkavians as to not offend people with mental illness.
I could see that.
I could see them. Now, these guys weren't in the original game, but I always wish they kind of included them. I could see them taking out the Assamites because of the heavy lore of Middle Eastern stuff involved with that, as to not offend anybody. Otherwise, 5. Well, they said that Thin Bloods are going to be a playable clan. So if that's one of the 5, I don't know what that leaves, except maybe like Toreador, Ventru, Bruhan, Nosferatu. But that leaves out the Gangrel and the Tremere and the Malkavians, obviously. Really, only 5? I have to find out more. This is really starting to make me go.
You remember that word I told you about?
I know.
Streamline. Let's see, what else do we got here? Are you an organ donor?
Yes.
I think so.
Well, I mean, I will be. I'm not currently, but I will be when I die. Let's put it that way.
Right.
I've heard the theories. Look, if you are an organ donor, they don't try to save you. That's not how it works. At this point, though, I don't think they're going to want my organs.
Yeah.
Thoughts on PewDiePie ending his meme?
Well, he can't really end a meme, so.
Well, he officially made a statement about it, which is what the mainstream media was waiting for, because they're just like, oh, when are you going to take responsibility for this? And he didn't come out and say that he is directly responsible and apologize or anything. Right. He just said that he put the meme out. It was fun. It was very endearing. A lot of good stuff came out of it, but also some bad stuff came out of it. And he said after thinking about it and looking at the situation as a whole and not trying to take advantage of the situation and make it about him when the initial, dude said what he said or whatever, he said he has come to the conclusion that that is the best course of action. So he said if anybody else is still out there saying it or whatever, this is his official statement saying he does not, he does not want it to continue. So is what it is.
I think that's asinine. I think I can't imagine what it's like to be him. Getting all the blame for this shit when it's not his fault that this asshole did that. But I've seen several people. You need to take responsibility for what? For what? You think him saying subscribe to PewDiePie? PewDiePie saying subscribe to PewDiePie made a guy go shoot up a bunch of Muslims? That's fucking retarded. And it's not what it is.
Well, they don't think that. They're just like, it's very convenient for us to do so. Like, they don't actually believe. Like, I highly doubt that people are just like, I truly believe this to be the case. They're just like, this is a good way to get at this person, so I'm going to say that this is the case, because why not?
Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous. And the people are doing this to him. There's me and Irate Bear were talking about somebody yesterday, I think it was it was yesterday on Bloodwing's channel, about this guy who's out there just hounding PewDiePie. Like, you have to take responsibility. Shut up. This man has been through shit you will never understand. Man, can you imagine waking up and finding out a whole bunch of people were killed and the asshole said your name right before he started doing it?
Yeah, that's fucking horrible. And it's so crazy because it's just like, let's just say, for example, Wendy's calls out McDonald's because they're like, somebody killed somebody and said it said, we did it in the name of McDonald's, so what are you going to do about it? And it's like, well, I'm going to have somebody kill somebody tomorrow and say they did it in the name of Wendy's, and then what are you going to do about it? What the fuck are you really going to do about it? Are you going to take responsibility now start paying off all these families because some rando decided to do something and save us from you. I could do that to anybody. Anybody I don't like, I could just do horrible shit and say, yeah, I did it in favor of them. That's what I did it for. Means nothing. But, you know, whatevs.
Let's see, what else do we have here? That was that one. God damn it. Finally find where I am in Chat Jones. I hate that shit. YouTube, fix your shit.
It's like it waits.
Yes.
Until you're fucking looking at it. Then it jumps.
All right. There we are. Okay. Lords of the Knights. Who of Lords of the Knights would crack first in a life or death situation?
Well, probably Monkey.
I don't know. It'd probably be me.
Who would crack first? Well, I mean, I guess it depends on what you mean.
I am horrified of death. Like the concept of death terrified, and not in a regular, like a normal person. Like, of course you're afraid of death. Like it's a. Well, all right. I ain't gonna get into that.
the only reason I would hesitate to even joke that it might be me is I've been confronted with some pretty gnarly things in the past that normally under normal circumstances I would think I would freak out and freeze up or something, but and then this isn't bragging. It's just what happened. A friend of mine, he was driving in front of us as we're going home from a party thing, and he was on his motorcycle, and he wiped out completely, like just wiped out on the road, like tumbled the whole 9 yards. And before the van even could come to a stop, I jumped out, ran over, and made sure his neck was support. I mean, it was like reflex. It was absolute cold. Didn't even think about it. Reflex to run over and make sure that he was stabilized, and yelled at one of my other friends, call 911, and park the van over there to block traffic. I mean, like everything. It was like immediate. And I didn't know I had that in me until that moment. Like I was always like, the 79-pound weakling in school and everything. But then that one incident, I was just kind of like, and afterwards I was like, what the fuck was I doing? I didn't have any authority, I didn't have any training or anything. I just, like, everything that I ever saw on like a TV show or something came back to me, and that's what I did. So.
Well, I guess it depends on whose life. If it was a life or death if it was my life, I would freak the fuck out. Because like I said, me and death, we have a very odd relationship. I tried to explain this to Squishy, and she was like, "You're kind of crazy." And I'm just like, leave me alone.
Anytime I've been in a situation where anything like that, I tend to get very, very focused and react very well.
Yeah.
Which of us would crack? I don't know, because I think I know Satsu's over there being like that, but trust me, we'd be fine.
Yeah, like I said, if it's somebody else's life, I'm sure I could, like, because I've been in situations like that before. I don't know if I ever told you guys, but back in the day, me and my little sister had just came out of the grocery store, and we actually watched a car come out of a McDonald's parking lot and get, like, destroyed, like almost torn in half, like right in front of us. And we just immediately, like, we were little, you know what I mean? And we immediately started, like, trying to, like, clear people out and move people out the way and get people to calm down. And I think the really fucked up part to this story is the only thing that I remember really vividly, because I kind of, like, suppressed a lot of that shit back then, is the fact that some homeless dude, this one dude we used to always see by this McDonald's every day, he walked up, saw the car, saw the debris, saw the car seat and the fucking, the carnage, and looked down and saw the bag of McDonald's and was like, damn, all them fries. And I'm just like, are you fucking serious?
Jesus.
Like, no joke. I swear to God that shit happened. And I was just like, what? And it was a serious moment. So I didn't want to, like, laugh. But I'm like, did he just fucking say that?
That's amazing.
Who's your favorite dwarf? Happy, Doc, Dopey, or Jewy? Profit. My favorite is obviously Dopey.
Yeah.
Who almost was named Horny, y'all. That is a true story.
I like Sleepy.
I like Dopey because he is kind of a whore. If you watch, there's a moment in the movie where she kisses each of the dwarfs on the head.
Oh, yeah.
Dopey jumps out the window and comes back around so we can get a second one.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
Fucking love him. Creepy fetus in a Jar Jar walking simulator. Satsu 2. What the fuck does that mean?
What?
Satsu 2 cents. Creepy fetus in a jar walking simulator.
Jar walking.
I don't know what that means.
Are you talking about PT? Shit, I don't know.
I don't know. Any upcoming games you look forward to? Borderlands 3, man. I'm waiting.
Yeah, as it stands, Borderlands 3 and probably the expansions for Final Fantasy 14 and the expansion for Monster Hunter that's coming out in the fall. Outside of that, I can't think of anything that I'm just like looking forward to.
Right, yeah. You and Scribbles?
No, there's nothing that I'm looking forward to. I mean, I want to be looking forward to Bloodlines, but yeah, my expectations are so wonked on video games these days because of how I always end up being disappointed. So.
Jaded.
Yep, no, it's true. I've been doing this. I've been playing games a long time, and my expectations and my desires rarely are ever met. So.
Oh, okay. That's what they were talking about. Death Stranding. I got you.
Favorite sea creature?
I
like the orca whales. The Shamu. I like Shamu.
Sea creature. I don't know. I always found dolphins fun to watch. But like I don't have a favorite one. Like I want to go visit in a zoo or something. So
I've always been fascinated by dolphins because of how fucking intelligent they are.
Yeah.
But if I had to pick my favorite, like the animal that probably intrigues me the most, it would be a tie between the octopus and the mantis shrimp.
The mantis. That's very specific.
Yeah, the mantis shrimp is like one of the most fascinating creatures ever. They're fucking awesome.
I like the orca whales because they play with their food. You ever see them just tossing a seal around for like an hour before they finally eat it?
Oh yeah.
How many of the people on the stream like the original animated How the Grinch Stole Christmas? I really don't. I found it creepy when I was a kid.
I actually kind of like it.
I mean, I like it for Boris Karloff's performance. It's not my favorite cartoon ever, but I don't hate it. I guess I don't know.
Let's see. Would you ever have a reptile or amphibian as a pet? We used to have a turtle.
I have a bearded dragon right now. I used to have a toad and a salamander when I lived in Wisconsin. And back when my mom had like a fish tank or whatever, we had a bunch of these little white frogs that turn pink if they're out of the water too long. And I think that meant they were dying, but we thought it was awesome. So yeah,
I'm not averse to the idea, but the maintenance of animals like that always kind of make me hesitant as all.
No, we had a turtle named Blue's Clues. We used to hand feed. He was a sweetheart, but he was getting big, so we released him back into the wild. Let's see. Satsu 2 cents. Do you plan on watching JoJo's Bizarre Adventure?
At the moment, no, I do not plan on it. But it's on my list, and it's been on my list, but I have absolutely no interest in watching it at the current moment.
Be honest, what movie would you love as a porn, original cast and all?
Oh God.
Oof. Stand By Me.
Too
dark? Jeez, I don't know.
Puppet Master 2. Just because of Charlie Spradling. And if you guys don't know who Charlie Spradling is, and that's a girl's name, by the way, that one scene, very brief scene in Puppet Master 2, was a thing of wonder for me as a young boy.
maybe Saint Elmo's fired just because at least they were all pretty people.
Oh yeah.
Shit, I don't know.
Oh, I know what you did last summer.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. Yeah, because of Jennifer Love Hewitt and the others.
Lucifer said, "How the hell does a mantis shrimp fascinate you? They look terrifying. They're fucking awesome looking, dude, and they can punch at like Mach speed, which is fucking hilarious. Yeah, they punch shit. Like they like if you keep them in a tank, you have to have reinforced glass because they can punch and break through the glass."
Let's see, where are we? Ranting Monkey, have you seen the bar hearing today? I've seen bits and pieces of it. I didn't watch the whole thing. And I probably won't go back and watch the whole thing because did we really learn anything? Did anything change?
From what? Learn anything about what?
Bar hearing today. We did learn that he's not going to go to the House hearing tomorrow that he was scheduled to be at. But otherwise, I mean, it was him being cranky, them being cranky, and it was what we always see. In this case, the Republicans were up there just kissing his ass. The Democrats were up there just being complete cunts, and him when the Republicans were kissing his ass, they're like, that's a good point. Yeah. And it was when the other ones, he was being a cantankerous old shitbag. And that's what we see up on the Hill all the time. What I did see of it, nothing. We didn't learn anything.
Yeah. There wasn't any great, like, just like with everything with this Russia investigation, it was some good sound bites, I guess, but there was no smoking gun of impropriety or something. So
right.
Yeah.
The closest they have him on lying is that he was asked if he knew Mueller's reaction to his conclusion.
Right.
And vague question, vague answer. I don't care. Lords of the Night, I'm sorry for the weird question. My brain is fucked up. Also, cheesy bacon or cheese or bacon cheese. Bacon cheese. No, cheesy bacon. No, bacon cheese. You know why? Because bacon cheese comes in spray flavor.
Did you guys see the person who went into a paint program and fixed the Sonic that Sonic picture that's going around that everybody's complaining about?
I've seen a couple of those things that make him look more akin to the character.
Yeah, one, like, everything looks almost exactly the same. They just connected his eyes on the bottom part and made them bigger and made his smile less fucking like Rabbit Raccoon and more fucking Sonic. And I'm just like, that's a simple adjustment. Everything else almost looks exactly the same. But I'm just like, dude, what was so hard about that?
Scribe, have you seen the teaser trailer for the J.R.R. Tolkien movie?
Yes.
I
have.
Scribe, have you seen the bar hearing today?
No, I didn't get a chance to see any of it. I was working.
His favorite sea animal again. More about the creepy fetus. Wait, are penguins appropriating sea culture? Huh? I don't understand the question. Looney Tunes or Tom and Jerry? I love Tom and Jerry, but overall Looney Tunes because there's more variety. Gentlemen?
Looney Tunes.
Looney Tunes versus what?
Tom and Jerry.
Yeah, probably Looney Tunes overall.
You just get more, and I mean, you get that same relationship in several Looney Tunes relationships. So, Mr. Monopoly, you don't have to ask the same question 3 times in a row, and back off on the question marks, man. Don't need that many. When will Mueller be on trial? He's not going to be on trial.
No, he'll be interviewed soon, I think. But.
Yeah, I don't know if they've actually scheduled when they were. No, yeah, they did. They had. I wanted to say it was like the 21st or something of May that he was requested to come talk to Congress. I was watching it for political theater. What were you watching? Nothing. I'm not sure.
I'm assuming the bar thing.
Oh, it's fun if you watch it for that. And if I had absolutely nothing else to do, if there was nothing else going on, yeah, I might tune in. I like that kind of stuff. I do, but it is fairly predictable. What is really cool, go watch the Kamala Harris questioning him and seeing Cory Booker sits right next to her. And so you see his face from time to time and his little smug, shit-eating grin in the background. Cory, you were running against this woman, and I get it. You thought she was being cool and everything, but that just made it look like she should be in charge rather than you.
Yeah.
Just throwing that out there, bud. And you need to do something quick, or you're not going to be in the race anymore.
I really can't wait for the debates. I'm really looking forward to the debates.
James Colley says, do you plan on pre-ordering Borderlands 3? If they keep up what we saw today, I will probably pre-order. Satsu, you going to pre-order?
Yeah, as long as they keep giving us good shit, I'm pretty happy with what I've seen so far. So, as a gaming YouTuber, I kind of have to, but because we literally just played through all of them. So at this point, we're in this. So hopefully they don't fuck up.
If they did like most games do and don't give you much of actual gameplay, that happens with so many of these games. You'll see like 10 seconds of gameplay in a 4-minute trailer.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of it's all pre-generated cutscenes. I would be like, I'm gonna wait. I'll wait and see. But I really like that they're actually showing gameplay before it comes out, and uninterrupted. It's not like they gave us like 2 minutes of it and then talked for an hour. They were actually just today they had I forget his name, the guy from Gearbox. He was just narrating over what we were watching on the screen. And they had a Pitchford, yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
And they'd invited a whole bunch of people. Boogie was down there. And they had all of these computers set up where these guys were playing Borderlands as the big show was going on, or like the big screen was. So they're letting people play it instead of trying to hide it because, oh my God, it's shit and we just got to get their money first. I might be a little jaded. Fraggle Rock or Sesame Street, which is better? Sesame Street's better than
Sesame
Fraggle Rock.
Street, yeah.
I have a new Mandela effect for you guys tonight. When Moses came off the mount with the 10 Commandments, he had grown horns on his head. Do you remember that? Data, are you drunk?
What are you?
I think Data's trying to fuck with us.
First, no, I don't remember that because first off, even if that
there.
event did take place, I wasn't there. And secondly, yeah, I don't think you'd find anybody who thinks that was ever really a thing.
Oh, God. I think we got all the questions. If I missed any, guys, I'm so sorry. What is the value of x when 2x plus 3 equals 3x minus 4? 1.5.
I was told there would be no math.
I was told there would be punch and pie.
What about Tiny Toons? Asked me. I love Tiny Toons. They were great.
Yeah, Tiny Toons are great. Back when you could like get away with irreverent and tongue-in-cheek comedy for kids.
You know what? Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. I thought you were done.
No, that's fine. No, you go ahead.
When do you go?
The Tiny Toons game is what I think of whenever I think of Tiny Toon. And that song playing repeatedly over and over and over and over. That and the Animaniacs game, because those were the two games I played the most back then.
What sticks out to me was the movie, and they did the THX thing where it was as the sound gets. The audience is now deaf.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
I fucking love that. But no, I had a Dizzy Devil plushie that somebody bought me back in high school because I love Tiny Toons. And Dizzy was my favorite because they made Taz. Everybody loved Taz there for a while, but he was not a really interesting character. He just made noise. And
Yeah.
Okay, last question. What is the color of love? White.
Yeah.
And over on the Streamlabs, PewDiePie being responsible for Christchurch is like Marilyn Manson being responsible for Columbine. The left is reading the evangelical right-wing script. Thank you so much, Igor. Yeah, and somebody had mentioned in chat earlier, it's like blaming Jodie Foster for Reagan. It's fucking retarded. But with that, guys, it is the top of the hour, and that means it's time for us to go.
Bye. Get the fuck out of here. Show's over.
Chad, thank you guys for coming, hanging out. Thanks for the donations. Very generous of you. Cannot tell you how much I appreciate it, and how much I appreciate you guys just coming in and listening to us night after night. Speaking of night after night, tomorrow night we will be over on Satsu 2 cents. It says 2 cents plus, and I almost said that. We will be on Satsu 2 cents for Lords of Night, 9 p.m. Eastern time, our normal. Do we have anything else to plug? I don't believe so.
I don't think so.
Okay. Scribe, Satsu, pleasure as always. Thank you for joining me, gentlemen. And everybody, your lives make us sad. We'll see you next time.
Bye,
guys.